Genesis chapter 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. God, who is Jesus Christ, created all souls to dwell on this earth in a supernatural realm. We were all with God in the beginning when He created this world perfect and beautiful. He knew us and we knew Him. We all sang together and shouted for joy during this time. We all worshiped the one who created us. Verse 2. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Something happened during that time, and one of us decided to rebel against the Lord, the one called Lucifer. 1/3 of us followed Lucifer in this rebellion against our Creator. As a result, God destroyed that supernatural world with a massive flood. And instead of destroying those who rebelled, He decided to create a physical world where all souls are born innocent and without knowledge of what happened in the supernatural world before. Verse 3. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God's Spirit became the light of this physical world, as in peace, honesty, integrity, morality, and truth. Verse 4. And God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. God made a clear distinction between those of us who stayed true to Him during the rebellion and those of us who followed Lucifer and rebelled against Him. This is where we get good and evil, right and wrong, peace and misery, spiritual light and spiritual darkness. Verse 5. And God called the light day, and the darkness He called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day. Some of us are children of the day, and some of us are children of the night, depending on if we followed our Creator or rebelled against Him. Our place in this world is based on our decision before we came here. 1 equals unity. Verse 6. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." God begins to create the necessary details of this physical world we live in right now. The visible arc of the sky keeps us protected during this physical life. You can go outside and take a look at it. Verse 7. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. He created the atmosphere over the earth to keep the water above us, to stay above us, and gravity to keep the water under us, to stay under us. We are protected from all sorts of debris from above. Verse 8. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. We call the sky the heavens still to this day. We also see a beginning and end of this phase in the creation process. We have no idea how long each process took. 1 day with the Lord is as 1,000 years. And the number 2 equals division. Verse 9. And God said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. When the waters from the flood went down around the earth, dry land appeared. The land was already there. Verse 10. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called He seas. And God saw that it was good. God, who is Jesus Christ, named this place earth. And that's why we call it that to this day. The oceans were now down to the level we know them today. Verse 11. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. He created the grass and the trees to convert carbon dioxide and water into oxygen so we can breathe, and he created fruits and vegetables and nuts for food so we can sustain our physical bodies. Without this verse, nothing on this earth could survive. Verse 12. And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit whose seed is in itself after his kind. And God saw that it was good. The earth did exactly what God commanded it to do. A seed can never produce anything other than what it is, and each seed has the ability in itself to produce more seeds. This is what they were created to do. None of this was an accident, and none of it was random. Verse 13. And the evening and the morning were the third day. This is the beginning and the end to another phase in the creation process, getting this world ready to house human beings. Again, we don't know how long these processes are taking. The sun and the moon have not been created yet. 3 is completeness. Verse 14. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. The Lord now begins to create the 24-hour day and the 365-day year. Time itself is being created here. He created the seasons, spring, summer, fall, and winter. The stars are for signals. Pay attention to them, but do not look to them for your salvation. The ancient world looked to the stars for guidance, and the future world will do the same. Do not follow them. We follow Jesus Christ alone. Verse 15. And let them be for lights in the firmament of heaven, to give light upon the earth. And it was so. They shine and they give us physical light during the day and during the night. Verse 16. And God made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. He created the sun to rule the day, and the moon to rule the night. And he created the constellations as well. The 12 signs of the zodiac are not random, and they are no accident. There were 12 sons of Jacob and 12 tribes of Israel for a reason. Verse 17. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. He created all of these things for a very specific reason and purpose. Verse 18. And to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. The sun rules the day, and the moon rules the night, every day and every night. This is God's word. This is God's law. God separated the physical light from the physical darkness. Verse 19. And the evening and the morning were the 4th day. Evening and morning is the beginning and end to this phase in the creation process. 4 is the number of the earth. Verse 20. And God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. God commands the waters of the earth to greatly increase with swarms of living creatures. He created the water and the land fowl. All of these creatures have a specific purpose for being created, Some are for food, some are for helping keep the earth clean and balanced. Verse 21. And God created great whales, and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And God saw that it was good. The Lord chose to create large sea creatures for specific reasons. Each living creature in this age serves a unique and important purpose. And as we see today, the waters around the world continue to greatly increase with life. Each living species created with a specific DNA code that makes it impossible for them to mix with other species. This is not random, and it's not an accident. 22. And God blessed them, saying, Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth. God, who is Jesus Christ, spoke this first blessing when he created living beings. 23. And the evening and the morning were the fifth day. Another phase in the creation process has been completed. 5 is grace. Verse 24. And God said, Let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beast of the earth after his kind. And it was so. God created different species of living beings that dwell on dry land also. Each being created for a specific reason and purpose. Some for food, and some for helping keep the earth clean and balanced. Again, they were created with a genetic code, a DNA, that will not allow one species to mix with another species. This did not happen by chance. The DNA code was obviously created. 25. And God made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And God saw that it was good. God created mammals, and invertebrates, and reptilians, and arachnids, etc., and created each with a specific genetic code. 26. And God said, Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. God created mankind. All races of the world are being created here. God created these physical bodies to look exactly like they did in the supernatural world before this one. The only difference, the physical body can only be mortal. The supernatural body can be immortal, which means that the supernatural beings look like us, and we look like them. He gave us authority and control over this physical world while we are here to fish and to hunt and to farm. It is required that all souls be born into a human body in order to see God's kingdom. Or should I say, we all should be born again. 27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. God chose to create human beings, to give all his children a chance to follow him. This physical body is designed to reflect the exact image of the supernatural body we came from. God created the genetic makeup of all races on the planet, both male and female. And it is truly foolish to think that the complex DNA code of human beings was accidental or random. 28. And God blessed them, and God said to them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. God created each and every race of human being on this planet. He created male and female of each race. He gave each of us authority and control over all other created beings here on this earth. This did not happen by accident. 29. And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. God created these physical bodies, and He also created specific things for us to eat while we are here. If we eat and drink, or inhale and consume things that our Creator did not create for us to put in this body, why do we wonder why we are always sick and diseased? Verse 30. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so. God also created each species of animal to follow a specific diet. The animals of this world are genetically coded to eat certain things. This design feature is not an easy thing to have randomly happen to every single species living on this planet. We can easily see the hand of God in all of His creations around this world. Verse 31. And God saw everything that He had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. All animals, all plant life, all people of all races, all over this world that He created was very good. And we see another phase completed as God is creating physical life to inhabit a physical world, and everything was thought out perfectly. We see God's plan of redemption coming together with each and every phase being completed. 6 is the number for mankind.